When the group of adventurers peered through the bars of the fence, they thought this forest looked more gloomy and forbidding than any they had ever seen before. They soon discovered that the path they had been following now made a bend and passed around the enclosure. But what made Ojo stop and look thoughtful was a sign painted on the fence which read, "Beware of the Woozy."
That means that there's a Woozy inside that fence, and the Woozy must be a dangerous animal, or they wouldn't tell people to beware of it.
Well, let's keep out then. That path is outside the fence, and Mr. Woozy may have all his little forest to himself for all we care.
But one of our errands is to find a Woozy. The magician wants me to get 3 hairs from the end of a Woozy's tail.
Let's go on and find some other Woozy. This one is ugly and dangerous, or they wouldn't cage him up. Maybe we shall find another that is tame and gentle.
Perhaps there isn't any other at all. The sign doesn't say beware a Woozy. It says beware the Woozy, which may mean there's only one in all the land of Oz.
Then suppose we go in and find him. Very likely if we ask him politely to let us pull 3 hairs out of the tip of his tail, he won't hurt us.
It would hurt him, I'm sure, and that would make him cross.
You needn't worry, Bungle, for if there is danger, you can climb a tree. Ojo and I are not afraid. Are we, Ojo?
I am, a little. But this danger must be faced if we intend to save poor Unk Nunkie. How shall we get over the fence?
Climb!
And at once she began climbing up the rows of bars. Ojo followed and found it more easy than he had expected. When they got to the top of the fence, they began to get down on the other side and soon were in the forest. The glass cat, being small, crept between the lower bars and joined them. Here there was no path of any sort, so they entered the woods, the boy leading the way, and wandered through the trees until they were nearly in the centre of the forest. They now came upon a clear space in which stood a rocky cave. So far they had met no living creature, but when Ojo saw the cave, he knew it must be the den of the Woozy. It is hard to face any savage beast without a sinking of the heart, but still more terrifying is to face an unknown beast which you have never seen even a picture of. So there is little wonder that the pulses of the Munchkin boy beat fast as he and his companion stood facing the cave. The opening was perfectly square and about big enough to admit a goat.
I guess the Woozy is asleep. Shall I throw in a stone to waken him?
No, please don't. I'm in no hurry.
But he had not long to wait, for the Woozy heard the sound of voices and came trotting out of his cave. As this is the only Woozy that has ever lived, either in the land of Oz or out of it, I must describe it to you. The creature was all squares and flat surfaces and edges. Its head was an exact square, like one of the building blocks a child plays with. Therefore it had no ears, but heard sounds through 2 openings in the upper corners. Its nose, being in the centre of a square surface, was flat, while the mouth was formed by the opening of the lower edge of the block. The body of the Woozy was much larger than its head, but was likewise block-shaped, being twice as long as it was wide and high. The tail was square and stubby, and perfectly straight, and the 4 legs were made in the same way, each being 4-sided. The animal was covered with a thick, smooth skin, and had no hair at all, except at the extreme end of its tail, where there grew exactly 3 stiff, stubby hairs. The beast was dark blue in colour, and his face was not fierce.